game. Far more normal openings from both of these dudes. We got a barracks first from Spirit. It's not like a CC play, but I mean, I kind of like the CC play on the map prior, and CC first in general is quite good. And Reynor isn't going for any of those pool first shenanigans either. Spire on the way for Reynor here. You know, I like that from him. He is against a Banshee opening. I don't know if he is 100% on that. I'll quickly check his vision. He did know it was a starport with the tech lab doing its little glow thing. But here, what's actually going to happen in this game between them?
Spire's just kind of good on this map. It's large enough in terms... It's funny because you expand towards each other so it doesn't feel large, but it is large enough to get mutas across. You've got a great triangular setup to jump from mineral line to mineral line with some dead airspace to get away into. So mutas, if you ever see them, Neo Humanity seems to be one of the go-to maps for them. Instant pull away, by the way, from these Banshees. Yeah. That was really quick from Reynor. He is real...
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Talk about making sure you take no damage early game. Obviously, he is losing mining time, but that's very minimal compared to actually losing workers, as we get one drone for all of that Banshee hunting effort. So his first mutas will be on the map, so we will see them, you know, see what they want to do very soon. Spirit, by the way, just so good at kind of keeping units alive right now. Very Clem-esque, you know. But I always say Clem's so good at retaining units, and it's kind of what we're doing here. We're keeping these Banshees alive for a long time. We're now using them to keep, you know, creep cleared out. He didn't just go overboard trying to get through and force them into, you know, an advantageous spot. The mutas are going to show up, and there's going to be damage taken here from Spirit. He is pushing up the left side with Marines only. But yeah, these mutas show up, and there's just no prior preparations.
Yeah, nothing whatsoever. And let's see what he can get done. I mean, the turrets do start coming down, but these mutas, they've been unanswered. And Reynor, he's droning up behind this. He's also committing to the mutas pretty hard, which I like in this kind of situation. He hasn't started his +1/+1 ground, by the way. Like that. Okay, it's just started now. If it was any longer, I'd have started worrying a little bit. But Spirit does start booting up his 2/2. A Thor on the way as well. This unit situation for Spirit is starting to get scary, though. And Reynor, he's not being stubborn. As soon as he hits the max, he's like, you know what? I've got a lot of mutas. These can obviously deal a lot of damage. But he gets the Hive started, and he's got the Hydralisk Den finished as well. I like that. It's a mature play where it's like, you know what? I've got map control. I've got my opponent there. Can I start throwing units at him? Possibly, but there is a chance that he wanders across the map and kills me. So I'm just going to make sure I tech up, get all the boxes ticked, and start getting to that next stage of the game, because my gas is not quite high enough that I can do anything I want just yet.
Yeah, no, it's very true. He just doesn't have quite the bank set up. Ling set up on the bottom left side, of course. Spirit's been pretty defensively set up for a while. He's even going to knock down the rocks in the center, so takes that option away. In terms of maybe rocks coming down mid-fight or something a little bit crazy like that. We've seen a few that happen a few times the last few days, where there have been some crazier moments. And that you have our bio just splitting across all these bases. And, well, the problem is you want to kind of stay spread, but you also don't want to stay so spread the mutas start picking you apart heavily. But also, the more that Spirit sits back here, the more it's like the lurkers are coming online kind of freely as well. So Reynor's just very happy to kind of let Spirit sit here and take a base, because his army's getting better with those lurkers very shortly.
It's going to get a whole lot better, and Spirit has not gone cheap on the turrets. He's got a good 12 or so on the map right now. That Thor, that's the only Thor alive. Okay, he does make sure to keep it alive here. Reynor's just making sure that his creep spreads get in places, man. Like, this map is looking unbelievably purple right now. There's creep anyway that Spirit leaves his bases. I know that south little slot there, probably going to be his next base at the 12 o'clock. There's even creep there from an Overlord, I know. Not yet creep, but that blue is just... It's everywhere, man. 5k minerals in the bank, 1.5k gas. I don't know what the income is. 1600 gas per minute for Reynor, and look at that production. He's getting a second Spire as well, ready for upgrades coming online, and he's already at +2 air weapons. So, yeah, he feels rich. He feels very comfortable.
We have got a lot of Ling Bane still sitting here, and yeah, just waiting for the next step, which is going to be a fusion core and an extra starport from Spirit. He's obviously got tons of CCs.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he's gone for a second armory as well, because this is absolutely the kind of game where those upgrades can come in pretty damn big. Like, a lot of players neglect those upgrades. Oh, there is a big attack coming on that right side. I almost thought he wasn't going to commit with his wall being there and stuff, but is there enough Banelings to take out this PF? Not quite by the looks of it. And that's so many ghosts here, Wardy. Like, That is a crazy number to have, just kind of lying in wait for any old situation. But yeah, Spirit, he's not maxed out, but his army is quality.
Yes, and that was a horrible first fight in from Reynor. He lost a lot, didn't knock down a base, which feels like something you're almost always trying to aim to do. Oh, he missed! He missed the ghost! Oh, no, he's going to find it now, but he's got to fly away from the nuke. Oh my god, I thought he was going to fly into the nuke, man. I really believed.
I mean, it's nice having 20 ghosts, but he kind of can't have them all in one area right now, because he does have to worry about what can come from another side. But Reynor, he's like, you know what? 36 meters, let's throw down 5 more. They're going to be getting sick upgrades as well, going up to +3, 1 right now. So these armor upgrades for them are... they're going to... I mean, they're almost going to be fully upgraded mutas very soon. And they have to be careful, though, because ghosts do not give a damn about your armor upgrades, Wardy.
Yep, the snipes will just cut through mutas and shoot them out the sky, so... As we do see, Spirit is going to contest that right side base. It's important for him to do that. He wants to make sure that Reynor doesn't mine more than his half of the bases on this map. And that's what Reynor's trying to do with these mutas, trying to be active enough, busy enough that he's able to do that. So, continuing in that vein, we do knock down a hatchery on the right side. We line up a nuke that cancels straight away. It was just a bit of a fake out. And maybe gets Reynor looking around for a little while, but Reynor now just pulling back up with the mutas to the top side. We are sat at 42 of them. 4 lurkers left. We just killed a few on the right. And Reynor just not replacing those at all, just letting the 4 be all there is.
It's starting to get to a point that I am getting a little bit worried for. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Reynor, because if Spirit does at any point choose to just kind of go, like those mutas remaxing an army that's capable of beating this amount of ghosts, that's actually, unless it's just pure Baneling afterwards, but it's going to be tricky, man. But these mutas, they're definitely getting some damage done. I mean, they take out a PF with armor upgrades really damn fast, but not without long. Oh, we kept it alive. Nice play.
There's a lot of snipes going off as well, so he saved the base. Now the mutas are going to go for the ghosts. We actually have Lib showing up as well. More ghosts from behind are going to try and snipe. That's important. The ghosts in the front took a bit of a beating. We got the Overseer. With the Overseer going down, you don't have detection to keep hitting the ghosts, so that's important. That's a big one. Why are we're rebuilding 14 more mutas? I feel like this is one of the games where afterwards, we potentially, if we talk to Reynor, he'd be like, yeah, I don't know. It just felt like a good idea. Looking back, it was kind of dumb because I just don't see them doing enough. I mean, you're losing so much on these mutas now. And you just, like I say, you've got nothing else. We've got, I guess, doubling the lurker count is nice. That's really the only fighting units he has. I'm baffled. This is beyond expectations when it comes to mutas.
You know what it feels like to me? It feels like Reynor's kind of said to himself, I can't beat that army with anything, so I'm going to try and avoid it as much as possible. Which mutas do really well, but at some point, you're going to need to battle the beast, innit? And he is getting good damage here. That's a couple of Liberators down. I mean, this is starting to get good damage done. The ghosts do finally get back here to try and sort things out. So these mutas getting the value that they've been after for a long time, actually.
This time around, a ton of Overseers, making sure they can't all be sniped easily. Because again, if the ghosts line up a snipe and the mutas get on top of them, they just need one shot and boom, the glaives bounce and suddenly the ghosts, none of them are firing because damage interrupts the sniping ability. That is a big part of what Reynor is going to utilize to try and limit what the ghosts can do. As we hit 9 more mutas in production, that's 40 mutas on the map once again. So 40 mutas alive, 41 have died. We're talking 8k in mutas this game. That's a huge investment. 16,000 resources of mutas? That's, yeah, expensive.
It's actually mental. Like, it is mental. There's no other way to put it. And these mutas, they're a lot. It's almost 2 groups here that he's microing with, going full Jadong on us. And that army, or that base there, will get kind of swallowed here. The missile turret's doing a little bit of tickle action going on. These Liberators don't yet have the air attack going on for them, so these mutas can actually sort of go toe-to-toe, which is kind of funny. Lots of Liberators, actually. Lots of ghosts defending as well. Oh, man, this is one of those games that's frustrating for Reynor, because he does feel like he's in good shape, but it's like, all right, I can't touch your army right now with what I have, but it's kind of from his own doing, really.
He is doing a very good job of making it frustrating for Spirit, though, because Spirit's like trying to respond to his little attack on the left, and then Reynor finds all the tanks on the right because they were just left alone. So the mutas are able to kind of swoop in and get a bunch of free kills, and just keeping track of these mutas is almost impossible because they're so fast moving. And that's the one thing Reynor is utilizing extremely well so far in this game. The speed and mobility of those mutas and their ability to just reposition around the map at a moment's notice. No, you do want to be careful as a tank across the way is going to get taken down by those few lurkers. Ling's going to hit this base bottom left. That is just a command center. It can lift off, but that's all the turrets going down. So Muta's creating value by forcing turrets that are not going to be used and just get killed. I mean, I'm glad he's finally transitioning. To be fair, maybe the entire plan was Muta, Muta, Muta until you have enough of a bank to make this massive switch. The only thing I will say about this massive switch is it's not going to catch Spirit off guard. It's not like he's like on 6, 7 Thors because he was like, oh my god, so many mutas. Like, he built a lot of libs, but libs are so multifunctional, especially against lurkers. They can just siege up and shut down lurker lines. So I like what Spirit's done against these mutas. Like, he never, like, yes, he's responded to them, as we gotta be careful of that, but he's never left himself open to his opponent just doing something completely offbeat moments after, and like switching it up on him with him not being prepared.
Yeah, you know what? That army of Spirit is so damn powerful that I'm like, yeah, if they fight, I'm really worried for Reynor. So the fact that they haven't fought yet, and that's because Reynor's bouncing from either side of the map, well played to him for making it so freaking weird. But now you're starting to see the power of this Terran army like that. That is scary as hell. And Spirit still has a lot of supply to utilize as well here, Wardy. Nice CFPs going down, trying to stop those Vipers from doing their magic.
Spirit just has like 2,000 more gas in the armies on the map, and also like 1,000, 2,000 more minerals. So his army is just that much more valuable. If that trades out equally or means equal things, then that's definitely a benefit for him. Of course, that's a big question to be asked. We are going to get through all these missile turrets over here. These mutas finally really just dropping in numbers. We've been seeing that for a while. We've known that for a little bit. So it shouldn't be too surprising. They are still going to have a final say on this base, as the libs are going to show up. And I mean, honestly, only 9 SCVs felt like that was meant to be a lot worse for Spirit.
I mean, Spirit, he's been the perfect turtle Terran, honestly. Like, you know, there's been engagements going on here, there, and everywhere, but he's kept his army alive, which, that's a tricky thing to do, man, because any little grab that happened on him, and these ghosts are out of position one time, or the Liberators even, like, even when we've seen the Vipers with the parasitic bombs and little skirmishes going on, but here it is, that is a massive army flanking in there, and it is going to consume and deal damage, but look at that ghost spread from Spirit. He is dealing with this nicely, easily. There will be a few CCs going down, but oh my goodness. That was damage done on both sides, I feel, but all things said and done, this just makes Reynor feel a little hopeless, I feel.
Yeah, it was worse for Reynor. Obviously, he did lose more resources in that fight than what Spirit lost, so that's the problem. At some point, you still have to take this big fight. He is getting up towards some spellcasters now. It just feels like everything that Reynor did was great. It was active. I can understand the idea of the mutas. But at the end of the day, we're still ending up in this scenario where the Terran has their ultimate army, and you're still trying to find a way to crack through that ultimate army. And that's going to be forever the issue here for Reynor.
Yeah, like, you know, if you planted Serral in the shoes now, and it's like, okay, what army does he start going for? You know, you have a very finessey army that you need like 4 control groups to micro, you know, where you're getting these pulls, these abducts off, the corruptors. He is starting to go into corruptors, and he does have a few spellcasters out, such as the Viper, the Infestors, but I feel this is one of those times where it's like, okay, I'm going to resort to that, as opposed to I want to go that, you know, which that's problematic. And Spirit, he's just been weathering the storm, which he's done a really good job of it. He's actually totally split the map now. So every bit of resources he takes from this point on, they're his to take. That it's not as if he's getting stolen against anymore, which is very problematic for Reynor. And Reynor losing that top right base, that's a base that should and always belong to him, which it doesn't anymore.
If Spirit actually starts to mine a base over Reynor, this is extremely problematic. It's not the way around it's meant to be in TVZ. Reynor will try and re-expand bottom left. Tell you what, later on, these command centers and just turrets and stuff, the mutas have just struggled to get through them. The plating upgrade is actually a big deal at this point, and obviously it's the final kind of hurrah of the mutas. There's not many of them left. They are going to put a bit more power in, a few more SCVs, but they are going to be done for. Spirit, 28 SCVs only, and he just has so much army supply. That's why it's so tough. I like that Reynor's going into those broodlords and those spellcasters, but at this stage, he basically needs to take one very good fight and really kind of win out, or he really needs to deny this bottom left with Spirit and mine the top right himself.
Those mutas are getting themselves into a bit of a scary spot. Granted, they're down to 6 now. Wardy, how many mutas have died this game, just so you can give me a number?
I think it's like 74. 75. Yeah, actually.
It's definitely a lot. Like, They got a lot of damage done, and Reynor does strike back, does take out that base on the right side. Let's check the gases out on those gas. There's still quite a bit of gas there to mine, so definitely decent, definitely decent.
Yep, every single base like that you can kill is big, as we do get the final Mutalisk of the game killed. That means we've had 81 mutas this game, and that's going to be the final number. A couple libs, Bioforces coming back into the center, and Spirit obviously still max, so is Reynor. Getting Corruptors, Broodlords, Vipers, all the spellcasters now finally hitting this kind of later game army, which usually the Zerg has been on for a while, unless they're just kind of Ling Bane busting forever, but obviously it's not been that kind of a game, as these few Overseers from the mutas are taking some turret damage on the way out, because after playing that many mutas, there's been turrets everywhere all the time.
It might be better just keeping them in the back of base for potential Niduses. But yeah, here we do see Reynor starting to move forward with a lot of his static defense, and the casters, the Broodlords, are starting to move on through. But it's so hard to get the Infestors to do anything here. Look at those liberation zones. They are plenty, and oh my goodness, Spirit has to be careful. Just really want to chase into this, I feel, because chasing into it, it's a bit scary, but EMPs are landing, and oh my goodness, the amount of ghosts. These Broodlords, they're all in red health here, Wardy, and he's just gunning on through. He doesn't care about what's on the floor, and the Thor's coming for a flank as well. Oh my goodness, Spirit putting on an absolute masterclass of how to engage a Zerg through a narrow choke like that. That was phenomenal.
He realized that if he chased, that he only needed one EMP, and then he could actually keep going through, so he ate that one fungal growth, and then he just kept going. Then Reynor didn't have enough at all. The lurkers on the right side might have been needed there to keep that ground army at bay. I don't think Reynor ever expected to be pushed into like that, so he felt fine with the lurkers elsewhere. Well, this is obviously a serious issue now. Reynor's got to rebuild, and he didn't even have the lava to do it instantly. He's going to go back to Corruptor Broodlord, but that's a mega expensive army to rebuild from scratch. So he's going to use pretty much the majority of his bank. Spirit gets to mine off a fresh base, bottom left corner because of this, and will even attempt to take over Reynor's base on the left side too. I mean, Reynor's going to be given the time to rebuild, but this is a massive win for Spirit, who has a larger bank than Reynor here, 29 minutes deep on Neo-Humanity. As we get into the very low eco stage of this, there's not a lot of workers left on either side. Obviously, a Terran has a ton of energy off orbital, so if you want to just go mule, you can if you get a base. Just mule it out very quickly. Obviously, we'll need to scan away a couple of those positions, and that Liberator just being so annoying, right? Anything you can do to slow down economy and mining at this point is a big deal, because if there's one more big fight and your opponent can't rebuild off of it, that would be huge. We do kickstart a fight down here with a fungal and a parasitic bomb. So Barrett just backs away and says, yeah, fight through my Liberator zones, because he knows the coverage they provide is huge, but there's also a massive link counterattack that Reynor's utilizing to try and get a heads up in this position.
It really is. You know, I feel like this kind of time, this would have been great to get some Niduses up in that main base, getting some lurkers out and about, but I say that, and then Reynor's maybe thinking, I can't do that kind of stuff because there's so many Liberators out in the field, but now he's starting to get stuff done, doing 2 fights here. He's making it scrappy. Making it scrappy against this army, because this is not a fast-moving army, Wardy. Like, this requires all of your attention all the time, and that's a lot of red health libs, the tank, the Thors as well. Reynor's starting to make this a crazy game, but he doesn't have much fuel in the tank here. Like, he is down to 1 army. Like, he is barely mining at all, actually, at this point.
Yeah, no, it's very true. We are just trying to keep some base alive as well. This CC going to get repaired, perhaps, as Reynor is almost out of minerals. Mining is an issue. The top right base will get back to mining those, so that is going to be some access given. But I think one of the things Spirit needs to do is some of the libs were super low HP as well, so just getting those repaired back up. And Reynor does have a larger army now for the first time in a while, I believe. It has been Spirit favored until now. And obviously Spirit lost a lot of his production during that previous fight, so rebuilding is going to be even tougher for him. And Reynor just slowly making this happen with 20 Broodlords on the map against 5 Thors and now 20 Ghosts. Spirit actually going to take the bio top right, though. He knows this base is important. And actually, this is about 18 of Reynor's 27 remaining workers. And Spirit has rebuilt workers in comparison. He's just going to take the base. He can lift up and leave here with these bio units and find some value. It's been a while since we've seen drop action, but that is going to be kind of what this is, escaping away.
Yeah, and Spirit, it's kind of funny. He was producing 9 SCVs at a time, so he definitely re-established that little bit of eco control here. But oh, look at this! These Broodlords, they're kind of undefended here. Wardy gets a few sniped immediately.
He's lost
here.
the Infestors. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is dire straits here. Reynor's at 150 supply, and it can't get that much higher. for him. He is producing a lot of infestors again, which I think he absolutely needs in this scenario. But do you know what is lacking, which I think Spirit has assessed pretty nicely? Air. There's only, in fact, how many corruptors are alive on the field, right? Zero. So these Vikings, they are going to reign supreme in the air, Wardy. I think Spirit's played a phenomenal game here. This is not easy StarCraft to do. He's on 10 orbital commands, and still, look how patient he's being. These ghosts just running forward, getting some snipes off here and there. Lovely EMP, the dodges.
Just really trying to find little bits of damage, right? Just saying, you know, I only need a bit of time and it should be okay, and he's doing exactly that, just saying. A little bit here, a little bit there, just try and find a big connection, but not rushing into anything. There's a bit of action on this right side about to break out. There's a couple lurkers setting up. There's a bit of bio here to maybe respond to them. For the scan, I think Spirit might go into this. He's in perhaps the worst split possible for that, but he does get through and he gets rid of one lurker. And that's the kind of point we're at, where like even a lurker is costly for Reynor, so these attempted harassments on the right are not necessarily ideal.
No, that was definitely the kind of where you think you're going to dive in front of your bro, like, bro, I'll save you. And it's like, mate, I'm not going to get shot. And then it's like, oh, dear. But yeah, that was great by him. Just a floating, scouting orbital command over here. I mean, any kind of harass with Liberators over there could be really nasty. Spirit still has some supply to utilize here. I would love it. Just a few extra Vikings, just because I feel that air superiority can absolutely be threatened. And right now, this fight over here is over an empty base. Like, Reynor doesn't have to defend here. He just feels that this choke is pretty good for him if Spirit wants to run at him, and then he just utilizes the nice fungals and stuff. Oh, lovely fungal on all those Thors and Medevacs. That was beautiful, but look at this. This is a lot of ghosts here, Wardy. They are all fungaled as well. Chain fungals. Did Spirit get carried away? I don't know.
Oh, I mean, the Thors are putting in some work, but those ghosts on the right side are really just getting obliterated. I have no idea what urged him to take this fight, like, so eagerly. I get that you want to push in. I get that you maybe feel like there's work to be done here, but I feel like this was just way over eager. And Reynor gets a massive fight in his favor. I mean, this was horrible for Spirit. He lost so much in comparison, and there was just no need. Like, he could just sit there and wait, and wow, he just basically evened up resources lost. Like, that was a ridiculously good fight for Reynor. Can't even stress that enough. That's game ending. Maybe.
That is game ending, and I mean, okay. Let's go back to ground zero, because he can rebuild. He's still got some gas income. Like, we're not wrong in that was one of the worst fights I've ever seen, but he felt he needed to do something, or maybe he felt that Reynor wouldn't be able to hold on. Maybe he also thought those Thors were going to get and fly in there way better than they did, but Reynor was very good about making sure that they didn't. He's now going to start stepping up to blue flame hellbats. This is going to make those broodlings way less effective. It's going to make those lings way less effective as well. Like, +3 hellbats, this is one thing that Mario figured out with his bio. They do one-shot the lings, so that does start to remedy that issue. And your opponent isn't in a position where he can just sling banelings at you non-stop. So Spirit will be able to remax, and I think with the addition of some of those hellbats as well, his army will start to get a lot more scary against what he's dealing with here.
Yeah, needs to be careful. A couple units going in a couple different directions. The Broodlord count being kept high. We are rebuilding Thors as a respectful kind of nod to those Broodlords. They definitely help. Reynor realizing he can take out the bottom left, which is not a bad call. Love the production there and so on. Just take that position away from Spirit, basically. I mean, Spirit's done with that base. He really wants to focus up here, and he will try and mine this location. He is still trading better if he can genuinely mine out this top right base, and, you know, there's, what, 800 gas here? That's a big deal. This was Reynor's last bit of mining, pretty much, so if Spirit genuinely takes this over, then awesome. So, yeah, the previous fight might have been game-ending if Spirit wasn't actually in such a substantial lead. As it stands, he is going to get to rebuild and reset, which is kind of ridiculous when you consider how terrible that fight was for him. It just really puts it into kind of, you know, imagery how far ahead he probably was going into that fight.
It really is massive. And these Vikings, you can see this dance going on. By the way, that tower, worth its weight in gold here, just with a couple of lings. I'd be tempted to just put a Liberator on there just to make sure that nothing can capture it from your opponent, because that vision is absolutely mental for Reynor right now of what he's dealing with, and also all the flank positions and what have you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is a game and a half.
We're going to potentially lose this orbital. It's starting to burn down. We're spending some minerals to repair it. And Broodlings are going to say, you can't repair this. And obviously, friendly fire off tanks is a factor as well at this point. 43 minutes on Neo-Humanity. They've both come so far to get to this stage. That one Hellbat getting a lot of lane kills. Reynor does at least have minerals to rebuild. That's definitely not his issue. Minerals are something he can expend to an extent, right? Don't get me wrong, it's not like he has loads, but replacing a few lings doable for the moment, as he's just taking every scrap of mining that he can. And Spirit just, well, trying to hold on here. There's one very low HP Thor. Wouldn't mind seeing that even just getting repaired at this stage. We do land an EMP, but the fungal came down first. And this time I think that Thor is going to die as the Vikings
Where are
land.
these libs? Where are these libs, Wardy? I feel like just a couple of libs. Yeah, I feel that they would be so good at just making these infestors so they can't come forward here. Because right now, Spirit's getting bullied, man. And here they do come in. And they come from a bit of an angle. And finally, look, Reynor's like, oh, bugger. Like, I can't do whatever I want anymore. And rightly so. These Liberators are so good at zoning. Good play with the Vipers here. But that's what Spirit needed quite some time ago. And now he can get... Now you have that little dance going on of these units. But... Spirit's army's very bruised and battered because, yeah, he's been acting like a boxing bag for the last minute or so, and that resource is lost now. It is as close as it can get in this long a game. 74k loss against 73.5, and it's actually Reynor with a little advantage here on that number.
He kind of needs it though, right? Because Spirit has absolutely mined some of the bases that were kind of meant to be Reynor's at different points. That left side base, this top right side base. These are very, very important things to keep in mind. We scan out, we scan ahead, just seeing the Broodlord count so hard. I mean, I don't think Spirit's going to rush into a fight to kind of, you know, an aggressive fight at all. And by the way, we're out of gas, right? So Spirit has no more gas. These top right gases were still active. There is a gas that has gas available in the natural. I don't think Spirit's ever going to realize that. But at this stage, just taking a little bit of extra gas could mean the world of difference, because that's even the difference of being able to repair or not right now. And that's why these fights are now even more scary than ever before, because even repairing's being taken off the table. Reynor doesn't have gas, so he's going to build up queens just for a little bit of extra anti-air. Every fungal that does damage here, every parasitic bomb, every, you know, shot off a siege tank, like, none of this is getting healed back up any longer.
Are you feeling an Ukko versus Nina coming on here, Wardy?
A draw.
You know, we get an hour and 5 minutes in, it's a D, and it's like, yeah, sure, why not? Because I don't see either one of them being able to make the fight happen on the opponent's soil. But I do see these Hellions as starting to act like lings of his own, where they just run in from random angles and just start killing like the base and whatnot. But it's going to be tricky, man. It's going to be tricky. Like, their Spirit can only make mineral type units now, which, I mean... We're at a point in time where mineral type units aren't going to achieve anything.
That's what you think, man. He's building barracks.
He's building barracks. But I mean, what else can he do?
Yeah, not really anything else. I suppose the idea here, you also just build an engineering bay where I guess at this point maybe you just need turrets, right? Like maybe that's just what you invest your minerals into, so you can make it tougher for Reynor to attack into you. Reynor's going to have these gases, and 600, 700 gas at this stage is you know, just value that Reynor didn't have before. We are going to snipe an Overseer. You just got to take those, right?
Actually, how many Vipers? By the way, 2 Vipers left on the field. Like, this comes down to a point where your pick-off unit is the Viper versus the Ghost kind of thing. And if you lose those Vipers, I feel that would be it. That would be literally it. And I do like Spirit's situation still a little bit more. Like, his army still, there's quite a lot of finesse to it, isn't there? Where he can make things happen. And now, when it comes down to such a small amount of units against this flock of ghosts, but I say that, 21 ghosts, it is a big number that can also get depleted, I suppose, with one fungal.
And that maybe gives you a bit more of an option as Spirit. You gotta be careful while doing this. There's a new infestor on the way, by the way. Again, I cannot stress enough how important this gas was, but that's it. The gas is gone. We are officially at a 0 gas game, apart from the Natural of Spirit, which has 500. He will never look at that. I don't think he's ever going to think about it. So that's not going to matter. But this is it. That's the last infestor. We really are at the stage now where every unit you see die is irreplaceable. There's only 2 Overseers, by the way, as well. Could also be important.
Like the gas units for Reynor are so damn important. I mean, they're important for both. You're absolutely right. But single spellcaster that dies, any single unit, that's it. That is absolutely it. And now we've got both of them staring each other down, trying to control this watchtower. A group of ghosts at the top there. That could be crucial. One of the Vipers.
What a catch.
One left.
What a catch. It's actually so important. Every single one of these spellcasters, we nearly lose an Infestor to these Liberators. As we do see the Broodlords looking to push forward again, but you've got to be careful. The Watchtower controlled by Reynor. We've talked about the importance of this vision so much, and it is currently Reynor's. A single Marauder tries to take down a Spore top right. I mean, taking down Spores gives access points for the Ghosts, and if he can take down this
I feel
Spore...
like that Viper. Was that the last Viper?
Oh,
the last Viper got shot. Oh. Yeah. So that, no more parasitic bombs here, no more grabbing these units. That's it for Reynor. Now that opens up things for Spirit so damn much. He doesn't have to worry about anything getting abducted, and now I think he can start to feel a lot more confident. Now, he doesn't know what we know, but he can damn well kind of suspect that something is feeling a bit better here. That Viking count, he's still got a decent number as well, 9 alive, but he can't repair them. If one fungal happens, that's it.
Yeah, that's very, very true. I think initially Spirit was trying to get rid of the Spore top right so that he could sneak Ghosts around this right side and maybe be able to grab a couple of snipes, because that's one position now. Reynor doesn't have just free vision in. The Marauders do get out of there. We have a couple Ghosts looking for the snipes in the Lurker. It gets away, low HP, but we do have transfusions for days, so as long as it doesn't die, it's healable for the moment.
It certainly is. They are both working so hard for this, man. Like, there is no lower bracket anymore. These Ghosts, look at that. How many Overseers are still alive? Actually,
2.
Wardy?
2? Only 2. Yeah, that's why I think the spawn on the top side was super important to get rid of, because it really does provide an opening that we didn't have before. An EMP going down, obviously that is a duel we continue to watch. It's 36 Lings on the way up. Oh, the Overseers, number 2 goes down. No, it just survives again. Wow, everything matters so much, man. It's ridiculous. And only 8 Vikings left. We had 9 before, so 1 died. Oh my god.
Look how they're both... This is turning into a Warcraft 3 game at this point. Like, every unit microing your ass off. Reynor officially can't make a single unit anymore, by the way. 22 minerals, 20 gas available. And here, like, he's fighting so much. Just put a Liberator on that tower. That will help so much. Like, he's got all these rings there available. I know he keeps sniping and stuff. I think Spirit's handling himself very well, but... Reynor, he's in a world of trouble, man. Like, an absolute world of trouble.
Cannot do anything but echo your opinion there, because we have just got ourselves dropping EMP. Libera's going to get a queen. I mean, everything matters. We do have the Vikings, need to be cautious. You're so right, by the way, if we just replace a Lib. Like, he's doing all these snipes and things as we try to do something over on the upper side. Yeah.
It could be a bait move as well. Like, he wants him to keep going there so he can keep sniping him, whereas if a Liberator was just there, you wouldn't even bother. But... yeah, I feel that Spirit, he's got Reynor where he wants him, you know. Spirit, he's been practicing every game of his life just like this to get here and really showcase what he's truly made of when it gets to a game like this. Reynor's vision, like that creep spread, it's been absolutely decimated this game. And I mean, Spirit has to take it slowly. He can't do what he did on that left side of the map a good 30 minutes ago at this point, where he just kind of dives in with all those Thors and just gets fungled to oblivion. But I feel that the way that he's approaching this game now, the patience of him, 12 Hellbats on the field, 17 Broodlords still available, but no Vipers left to speak of. This... what a sad game for Reynor. This is one of those moments where you see the players on the webcam usually, and you see them kind of like, you know, their hair. They always stroke their hair. I notice more than anybody because I'm bald. But they run their fingers through their hair through sheer frustration. And I feel that that's what Reynor's probably doing at this point in time.
This is a, yeah, I mean, opportunity for Spirit to go up 2-1 in the quarterfinals, a chance to move into the semis, his best result ever when it comes to the European regionals. On the doorstep. It's within reach. If he can win this game, he's going to have 2 shots at closing out the series. A draining game, too, and such a mental victory as well. If you're the one that wins this super long game, that's got to feel amazing compared to the guy that just worked for an hour to be no better off in the series.
No, absolutely. And, I mean, the games that Spirit's winning, like this one, especially, this was really... a true game of Starcraft, you know, like this wasn't the normal, hey, I'm going to outgreed you and outdo all this kind of stuff. This,
yo, he's going to EMP all the Infestors. He's going to get all the Infestors. Oh, he's going to snipe them. That works as well. We can fungal to stop. Well, okay, 2 Infestors for 2 Ghosts. I think I like that for Spirit because he's got a lot more Ghost. 3? Okay.
He got 3 of the 7, so 3 Infestors for 1 Ghost here, and just kind of the moral victory. Like, this is... Spirit's making this look... good. Like he is. Like every kind of win option that I think of that's available for Reynor, it involves Spirit messing up at this point and just getting over eager. If Spirit doesn't do that, if he just kind of inches forward a little bit closer, because he's still got a lot of minerals to utilize here, Wardy, if things do get rough afterwards. Oh, I love it. What can I do?
I mean, he's doing the right thing, though, right? He's just playing it slow. I mean, to be fair, like, what was Spirit meant to do when Reynor built 80 Mutalisk this game? Reynor literally played in a way that said, hey, don't do anything. Like, sit back and defend, because if you move out, you're going to die.
Yeah, this is, you can feel the salt. You can feel the salt, man. Nice, I'm stuck, man.
You're stuck?
This is it for me. Yeah, I'm proper zoomed in, Wardy.
I'm going to try find you.
The main thing I can see now is the chat, which I'm luckily zoomed in on. What's the plan? I'm winning it. All right.
Well, yeah, I mean,
right,
he's not wrong. But I think he is winning it.
No, he's not wrong.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely winning it. He's just, I mean, he's the one that's got to play it slowly. Reynor's just going to sit here. Like, that's all Reynor can do. Reynor can't make plays, but Spirit can. Slowly but surely edge around and make Reynor make a mistake here, a mistake there. I mean, that's how Reynor potentially wins too, right? But until, Spirit makes a lot of mistakes, there's no reason for him to think that he's in any sort of losing position.
It's starting to get to that kind of feel. Oh my goodness.
It's a queen. Oh, the transfuse wasn't enough.
He's 10. He's Moldnor. 105. All right. We're getting to the Uko Nina situation, but Spirit's obviously not going to call it.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Spirit is not going to call it. Another scan comes down. Obviously, we just got constant stream of scans. Another queen! Okay. Like Reynor was doing such a good job against this before. Now I feel like he's... You can see he's slipping because in the last minute, he's taken more damage than in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I mean, that's... it's still only been 3 queens in the last 5 minutes, but it's it's still more damage than he's taken the... Yeah. Oh, truly a tragic game. Like, I know that there's these memes about Terrans being crybabies and Puros players being baboons and Zerg players being emos, but right now, the way that Reynor's living this game, it is truly like masochistic. Like he's in this just to die, basically, and I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does at this point.
Nope, he's still got that Ling Bane poised on the top side, just holding back so the Hellions can't get a free shot on it. As Reynor kind of ventures a bit further forward than he's done in a while. It's funny that these Vikings have been on this many hit points for like the last 20 minutes or something because they've just had nothing else to do. There's no way to heal or repair.
Yeah. It's also kind of crazy. I don't think I've seen a single fungal over the last few minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe over the last 10, which is his only kind of grab right now, but I guess he has to be so careful about them, A, getting sniped, and B, getting EMP'd.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, you got to be super careful. We saw already when he was 7 infested, he lost a 3 to the flank, and obviously he's better set up against the flank now, but if you get a fungal, it doesn't matter unless you capitalize on it. Unless, I guess, on the Vikings or so, maybe, but if it's on the Ghost and the Ghost get away, there's medevacs to heal him and everything. And at this point, if you trade 1 for 1 Ghost to Infested, that's also amazing for Spirit, because without fungals in the fight, that would be obviously incredible for him to potentially end the game eventually. Just kill off our own missile turret there, I think. It was a misclick.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Spirit with his 2 SCVs, he could still mine out that gas on his natural. Oh. Another queen bites the dust. My goodness.
That was close, though. That really felt like a closer infest than we could have been good, as we do get some EMPs off. Fungal misses.
It's kind of funny that he's... I like what he's doing with these ghosts, cycling them in 2 at a time, or 3 at a time, or whatever, because it is actually very annoying to play against. But Reynor, he's just suffering in the slow defeat here, and these Hellions... Oh, they're running to the main. There's actually no way out of there. Yeah, I think he can just chase this. Oh, he slowed himself down like that. Okay, I guess he will force the main army back here, and that does something, I suppose. We'll take out a lot of these Lings, but interesting.
I mean, he's got to get rid of these Lings before the Broodlords catch up and make this a wasted opportunity, as we are going to get a lot of the Banes, so they will be dying. I mean, Spirit can obviously rebuild off this.
Yeah, he scanned the middle now. Okay, now he's going to go. I mean, supply-wise, Spirit can remake, and he killed a lot of those Lings and Banelings, which cannot be remaxed. And now, Reynor's starting to feel a whole lot more claustrophobic.
But you know what it is as well? Now Spirit could maybe send his 2 SCVs to long distance mine these minerals and get some extra mineral income himself.
Oh, dude, just plant your orbital next to it. You know, you got plenty to burn, haven't you?
Meal.
And then, okay, that'd be such a move of just like, yeah, it's mine now. Like, even though it's, you know, how many minerals are here? I think it's quite
like 1,000. Yeah, it's like 1,000, 1,800.
Yeah, it's a good chunk actually. That's a good 18 or so Hellions.
That's the Lurker, by the way.
Oh man,
Lurker's gone.
Okay, that's a lot less ground AoE to speak of. Man,
this is actually really good for Spirit because he's actually so much more mobile around here. Like, there's less directions in on the ground, but you're right, because Reynor's more claustrophobic, it definitely feels like there might actually be an extra way to kind of reach across as Spirit that he didn't have before. Ghosts, again, looking to see what they can do. Going to land a snipe on the Queen. You can see it's just more difficult for Reynor to be prepared against these ghosts and stuff, so... I was going to say, there's actually, like, on the left side, as we hit a good EMP... Oh, an Infestor dies! A second Infestor dies! Massive.
That's actually... That's huge! I don't know if... I think he might have one fungal left in this mix.
Yeah, it's hard to see exactly what is... Oh, the ghosts! Oh my god! they misplayed. Some mistakes as we go on.
Another good trade for Reynor in the past 30 minutes. He's in this.
I was going to say, I really felt as though there was maybe opportunity for the Vikings to come around the left side now without it being kind of protected by spores and stuff. So maybe we see some more action from the Vikings, but of course it's dangerous. They are the only Vikings you have. The spores are unburrowed though, so I think the Vikings might take an opportunity. And of course, again, less fungals than ever before. We mentioned, you know, trading out those Infestors are generally going to be good for Spirit in any which way. And now he lost, since he lost about 5 ghosts to kill 2 Infestors. Oh, we're going to go! The spores are going to tank a little bit. We're going to make a move forward. Here we go. EMPs should be a big deal here. The Vikings are going to launch forward. The Biostem in from the left side. There is not a single fungal in sight. And the Broodlords are very unlikely to make this work. This is what we waited the last half an hour for. And it is going to be, I believe, Spirit, who's got enough anti-air to keep going towards those Broodlords. Congrats and GG. Spirit gets a 2-1.